So tomorrow we have our test. It will cover exponentials, it will cover exponent rules, it will cover factoring, it will cover multiplying polynomials and intro to polynomials. So make sure you get a parent signature so you can get those bonus points. Write an expression for the area of a triangle. Use the formula A equals 1/2 BH. So if this is our base and this is our height, we know because it is connected by a right angle. So we're going to just set this up like we've done in the past. 3x squared plus 8 times 2x squared all divided by 2. So this is simply distributing here and here. So 3 times 2 is 6, x times x is x to the 4th, 2 times 8 is 16x squared. And then we need to divide all of these by 2. Don't forget that 1/2. Remember, triangles start with t, so we need to divide by 2. So we get 3x to the 4th. It does not change your exponents, plus 8x squared. This is our area. Beverly has an investment worth $920. After 4 years, the investment earns 3.8% compounded annually. How much money did she invest initially? So you're going to have to plug in that formula. So where this is our interest, this is our time, which is already in years, which is good. We're going to have to make this a decimal for the rate. We have 920 is equal to her initial amount. Remember, this is our A. So your B is 1.038 because it's growing, right? So 100% plus that 3.8%. And then to the time, which is 4 years. Now you can use your calculator to solve this. You can use NSolve, or you can simply work backwards. I'm just going to use NSolve because that is easier. Menu 3, 1. I can say 920 is equal to A parentheses 1.038, and then outside the parentheses to the 4th power, comma A. Oh, I did something wrong. Oh, I have a parentheses. 3, try that again. 920 equals A times 1.038 to the 4th, comma A. I had too many parentheses in there. So her initial investment was $792. We'll call that 50 cents. Then we have, this one was the product. So you can use box, you can use FOIL, or you can simply multiply these. It is entirely up to you. I'm just going to set it up as a regular multiply. So -4 times 2 is 8, which is negative, and then -4y squared placeholder. 3y times 2 is 6y. Notice those don't connect those because they don't match. 3y times y squared is going to be 3y cubed. So I have 3y cubed minus 4y squared plus 6y minus 8. And again, you can do that in any method you prefer. Population San Antonio since 1960 is shown in the table. Use the calculator. What is the exponential regression? So you are going to have to use menu. You're going to have to use list and spreadsheets. So X and Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you are not going to be able to do this on the app. 5, 8, 7, 7, 1, 8, 6, 5, 4, 1, 5, 3, 7, 8, 5, 9, 4, 0, 1, 3, 5, 3, 4, 4, 6, 4, 6, 1, 3, 2, 7, 4, 7. Right, and then we go to C1. Menu 4, 1, and this is exponential exponential regression, so it is a x, y. Alright, so our exponential regression is y equals, this is our a value, and you can see it as a decimal down here. 5, 6, 8, 8, 5, 6 times the b value, we're just going to say 1 point, running out of space, 1.18 to the x power. And then here, we talked about when you square, this does not mean distribute, this means 2y minus 3 times 2y minus 3. And then if you wanted, you could simplify even further by saying 4y squared minus 6y minus 6y plus 9. So 4y squared minus 12y plus 9. So be aware, it can be written this way, it could be written this way. Alright, next page says, okay, so there's another interest. $5,000 in the account, 2% interest compounded annually. There's the function, gives the explicit from a sequence. What is the value of f of 7 to the nearest whole dollar? So you are going to have to put this 7 in place of t, because that's where it is. So we're going to say, and again, you can use your calculator, 1.02 to the 7th. 5,000 times 1.02 to the 7th is 5,000, and it's to the nearest whole dollar. So we're going to, so 5743. And what does it mean in the context? It means after 7 years, Jackson has $5,743 in the account. Okay. What is the product? Again, this is a 3x2, so you can do box, you can do FOIL, or you can simply multiply. It's going to do FOIL, 2x squared times x is 2x to the third minus 5xy plus x, and then I have 2x squared times y, so 2x squared y, 5y squared plus y, and we cannot combine any of those. So this is as simplified as it gets, because we have no like terms there. Hiking, Martin was bitten by a rattlesnake whose venomous poison was eliminated in his bloodstream at a rate of 15% per hour. Now, this is going, if it's being eliminated, this is a decay. Okay, he was injected 10 milligrams of venom. This is your A value, guys. Your B value, if 15% less was eliminated, that means 85% remains. This is your B. How many milligrams after 2 hours? So you're going to have to write your equation. A times 0.85 to the second power, not 15. 0.85 to the second power, 7.225 milligrams remain. And then how many hours will it take for there to be only 2 milligrams of venom left? So I would suggest that you make a graph of this. Now, that's not going to help you unless you have the correct equation. And I'm going to go to the table, and I'm looking for 2 milligrams left. I'm going down, down, down. That's not quite 2, so in between 9 and 10 hours. What is the sum? So this is purely collecting like terms. So this can go with this, and this with this. There's no other y squared. So 5y squared, this is 10y, and this is 5. Describe this as an increase or a growth or a decrease or a decay. Well, obviously these are going up and so are these. So this is an increased growth. And by what percentage? So this is where you need to make your ratios. So we're going to say 2531.25 over 2500. So I can say 2531.25 divided by 2500, and it has a rate of 1.0125. Now remember, because it's an increase, this is our 100%. So we're just going to go 1, 2. So it was a 1.25% increase. Rectangle has an area, 8 squared plus 10x plus 3, and a width of 4x plus 3. What is the length? So we know that area is length times width. So 4x plus 3 times the length. So we're going to have to divide by 4x plus 3. But we haven't actually learned how to do that yet. So what you're going to have to do here is you're going to have to do the box backwards. You absolutely have to do the box here. So we have 4x plus 3, and we know 8x squared is going to be here because our x squared is always in the top left, and our constant is always in the bottom right. And now we can work backwards. So 3 times something is 3. Well, we know that's 1. 4x times something is 8x squared, so this is going to be 2x, and there is your other dimension. So you're going to have to do the box backwards. It's just kind of thinking backwards from what we've learned before. What is the difference in the expression? So you're going to have to distribute your negative. So I have negative 7x squared plus 3x plus 4. I'm going to go ahead and bring this down. And then we just need to simplify it. I just have, these are the same. So I have negative 5x squared, and then I have 4x and 3x, so plus 7x, and I have 1 and I have 4, so plus 5. And now that it is simplified, what is the degree of the expression? Remember, that is the highest exponent of the polynomial, which in this case happens to be 2. The leading coefficient, okay, so negative 5x squared is the leading term, so the leading coefficient is negative 5. What is the coefficient of x? That's the number in front of x, which happens to be 7, and the constant is the value without the variable, so 5. Take the radioactive substance 15 minutes to decay by 40%. That means there is 60% left. There's 80 milligrams of the substance. That's your A. Write an equation to model the decay. So 80, you can say f of x equals 80 times, this is our B, 0.6 or 0.60 to the x power. San Antonio was 1,151,979 in 2000. If there is an expected growth rate of 23%, the expression, so here is A, 1,151,979 times 1.23. You're going to make it a decimal, and you got to have that 100% that we're adding back in to the x power. And if the expected growth rate, what would be the best prediction of the population in 2017, where x is years after 2000, so we're saying x is 17. So I want f of 17, and this is going to be a calculator